Imagine waking up one day and deciding to eat only a single meal. There would be no comforting aroma of breakfast wafting through your home, no quick midday snack to sustain you, and no familiar dinner ritual as the sun sets. Just the quiet, unsettling emptiness of a waiting stomach, as if your body were questioning your choice. At first glance, this might seem extreme, perhaps even imprudent. However, the underlying truth is far more subtle and profound. Beyond the initial pang of hunger lies not merely discomfort, but a signal from an ancient biological rhythm, one far older than contemporary life, a rhythm we've largely forgotten. And here's the intriguing aspect. Your body isn't panicking as your mind might be. Sometimes, the very moment you perceive yourself weakening is precisely when something deeply ingrained and potent within you begins to awaken. We are raised to perceive hunger as an urgent warning, a mental red light signaling, eat immediately or consequences will follow. Yet, what if that alarm is not a truth, but just a habit? Most of us don't eat because our bodies demand it. Instead, we eat because the clock dictates it, because it's breakfast time, because others are eating, because routine often shouts louder than biology. Nevertheless, beneath these routines lies a dramatically different narrative. Our ancestors did not graze throughout the day. They moved, sought, built, and hunted, often for extensive periods without consuming a single morsel. Their bodies thrived on unpredictability, not constant abundance. And even now, that primeval rhythm endures within you, dormant but intact, awaiting a moment like this. When you forego your customary meals, you're not just breaking a habit, you're reverting to a biological pattern far older than civilization, a pattern your body remembers, even if you don't. The initial hours without food can feel like an internal rebellion. Your stomach tightens, your thoughts wander to the refrigerator, and an odd restlessness stirs. Not true hunger, but the body sounding a primordial alarm. This is ghrelin at work, the hunger hormone surging like a siren. It courses through your bloodstream, knocking on the brain's door, exclaiming, "Find food, now!" This is a protective reflex, a survival mechanism honed in a world where missing a meal could mean missing a chance to stay alive. Nearly everyone who attempts eating once a day experiences this moment. That subtle wave of panic, that instinctive urge to alleviate the discomfort instantly. But here's the twist. Ghrelin is loud but impatient. If you don't immediately heed its call, something unexpected occurs. The clamor begins to subside. Your body realizes that the crisis it predicted isn't materializing. And that's when a profound transformation commences. Then, something almost incredible happens. The hunger you were so certain would intensify doesn't. It softens. It quiets. It recedes into the background like a storm that has changed its course. This is the point when your body ceases reacting out of habit and begins responding with intelligence. The dopamine-driven cravings linked to routine start to lose their hold. What remains is genuine hunger, the kind your predecessors felt only when nourishment was truly essential. As your hormones stabilize and your blood sugar levels out, a subtle clarity emerges. Not a rush, not adrenaline, but a purer form of focus that feels almost primordial. Many Americans experimenting with intermittent fasting describe this identical shift. That peculiar moment when the internal chatter ceases and the mind finally feels invigorated. It's as if your biology is whispering, "Now we can begin." As the hours lengthen, your body realizes it cannot rely on the rapid fuel it typically consumes. The stored glucose that previously powered every step diminishes, and for the first time in a long while, your system is compelled to tap into a deeper reserve. This is metabolic switching, the silent transition when your body stops awaiting external fuel and instead turns inward to burn stored fat. It's not deprivation, it's strategy. a biological enhancement embedded in your DNA. Your insulin levels begin to fall, inflammation starts to diminish, and your cells rediscover the adaptability they were engineered to possess. Many individuals in the U.S. who try intermittent fasting note an unforeseen outcome here. Instead of feeling depleted, they actually feel lighter, less bloated, and more stable. It's the initial indication that your body isn't shutting down. It's reorganizing, opting for a cleaner, more consistent energy source. And from this point, things only become more intriguing. As your body adapts to this new rhythm, something remarkable unfolds at the cellular level. Your mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses within each cell, begin to operate with extraordinary precision. Deprived of the constant sugar supply they are accustomed to, they transition to fat oxidation, generating a cleaner, more sustained energy that avoids spikes and crashes. This is the nascent signature of ketosis, a metabolic state many Americans now actively seek due to the balanced and mentally acute sensations it provides. People often characterize this phase as if their internal battery received a silent upgrade. There are no jitters, no mental haze, just a smooth, controlled current flowing through the body. The surprising aspect is how natural it feels, akin to a system reverting to the fuel source it always preferred. This isn't your body weakening, it's refining itself, tuning into a highly efficient mode you may not have experienced in years. And deeper within, an even more astonishing process awaits. When the body fully acclimates to its fat-burning rhythm, a silent revolution commences beneath the surface. This is autophagy, the cellular house-cleaning process that scientists now associate with longevity, metabolic well-being, and even a reduced risk of age-related ailments. Imagine millions of microscopic workers traversing your body, identifying damaged proteins, misfolded structures, and exhausted organelles, then breaking them down so your cells can reconstruct superior versions of themselves. While not outwardly dramatic, internally it represents one of the most potent enhancements your biology can execute. Japanese researcher Yoshinori Osumi was awarded the Nobel Prize in 2016 for uncovering this mechanism, and with good reason. When autophagy activates, your body transcends mere survival and embarks on a path of self-repair. Many individuals practicing intermittent fasting in the U.S. describe this stage as a pivotal moment, feeling lighter, clearer, and more balanced. This isn't because they're eating less, but because their cells are finally granted an opportunity to reset. And the organ that benefits most profoundly from this reset is the one you depend on every single second: your brain. As your cells undergo repair, the brain commences its own transformation. Fasting triggers an increase in BDNF, a potent protein that fosters neuroplasticity, the brain's capacity to grow, adapt, and reinforce neural pathways. Consider BDNF a kind of fertilizer for your neurons, encouraging them to operate more efficiently and communicate with greater clarity. Many Americans who adopt intermittent fasting report a remarkable shift at this juncture. Thoughts feel sharper, emotions more stable, and that familiar mental fog seems to dissipate. This isn't adrenaline or hyperstimulation. It's a quieter, more profound clarity, stemming from stability rather than sugar. When insulin levels remain low and energy generation stays clean, your brain ceases chasing the highs and lows of constant snacking and begins to function from a more grounded baseline. For some, this manifests as serene confidence. For others, it feels like a mind finally liberated from chaos. However, even this newfound clarity comes with a responsibility, as not everyone responds identically. For all its advantages, fasting isn't a universal panacea. Every individual body possesses its unique history, metabolism, and delicate biochemistry, and when the eating window becomes excessively brief, trade-offs invariably emerge. Some individuals may experience low blood pressure, dizziness, or irritability as their systems adjust. Women, in particular, might notice alterations in menstrual cycles or energy levels because reproductive hormones are intimately connected to nutrient availability. Furthermore, there's the risk of nutrient deficiency. Attempting to consolidate a full day's worth of protein, vitamins, and minerals into a single meal can be challenging without deliberate planning. This is why many nutritionists in the U.S. caution that OMAD, one meal a day, is most effective when the meal is rich in whole foods, healthy fats, lean proteins, and sufficient electrolytes to maintain bodily stability. Fasting is a potent instrument, but it remains merely a tool. It can either hone you or exhaust you, depending on how it's utilized. Comprehending this equilibrium paves the way to the most captivating aspect of all: what fasting signifies for longevity. As researchers began scrutinizing fasting more closely, a consistent pattern emerged. The identical biological shifts that enhance short-term energy also contribute to long-term longevity. When digestion slows, the body finally has the opportunity to concentrate on cellular preservation, repairing damage that would otherwise accrue with age. Studies from the National Institute on Aging indicate that animals subjected to controlled caloric restriction live longer, exhibiting stronger mitochondria, reduced inflammation, and fewer indicators of metabolic decline. Human data mirrors this trend. When insulin sensitivity improves and oxidative stress diminishes, the systems responsible for aging begin to decelerate their descent. This isn't about achieving immortality, it's about aging more slowly, maintaining cognitive sharpness, and preserving vitality for more years than previously thought possible. Many Americans exploring intermittent fasting state that this realization changes everything. It's not solely about improving appearance or losing weight, it's about affording your body the space to maintain itself. This concept is not novel, it is ancient. Long before modern science conceived terms like autophagy or metabolic switch, cultures worldwide were already practicing various forms of fasting for clarity, discipline, and renewal. From the earliest Greek thinkers to venerable spiritual customs in Egypt, India, and Japan, there was a prevalent belief that abstaining from food honed the intellect and invigorated the soul. These individuals didn't concern themselves with ketone levels or insulin monitoring. They simply honored the natural cadence to which their bodies intrinsically reacted. This innate rhythm continues to reside within you. In an era characterized by continuous plenty, we have distanced ourselves from the fundamental cycles that molded human physiology over millennia. For many Americans, their initial successful fast is not perceived as a physical ordeal, but rather as a homecoming, a return to something primeval, straightforward, and deeply rooted. It serves as a powerful reminder that fasting is not a fleeting fad, it is a primal memory, a biological resonance from an era when our physical selves and our innate urges functioned in complete harmony. And once you experience that profound reconnection, an ultimate truth becomes impossible to disregard. Should your body articulate its feelings after a full day without sustenance, it would neither plead nor beg, as your mind might anticipate. Instead, it would softly, yet distinctly utter, "Gratitude. Thank you for the respite from incessant assimilation. Thank you for the opportunity to mend, to purify, to recalibrate. Thank you for allowing the commotion to subside sufficiently for insight to emerge clearly." Fasting is not about discipline or command. It is about recovering an equilibrium that contemporary living has gradually displaced. Your physiological system was engineered to endure hunger, to adjust, to transition into states that fortify you instead of undermining you. And when you grant it that interval, it reacts with fortitude, enhanced metabolic wellness, consistent vitality, and a mind that feels more composed. If this exploration has prompted you to reconsider your perspective on hunger, contemplate delving further. Relate your encounter, your intrigue, or your reservations. And should you be prepared for the subsequent stage, the scientific understanding only becomes more compelling from this point onward.